Welcome everyone to the Anxiety Breakthrough Workshop. I'm Roy Kwan, CEO and founder of Coach Anywhere. And as you know, this workshop is part of the Spark Festival, which is going on since the 12th of October for a few weeks. So I highly recommend you check out all of the events as part of this wonderful Spark Festival for entrepreneurs, innovators, and startups. And before we begin, I would like to acknowledge the Gadigal of the Eora Nation, the traditional custodians of this land, and pay my respects to the elders, both past and present. So I'd like to start off by sharing a bit about my background, why I do what I do. And first of all, I'd like to share about my family heritage. So my mum is Singaporean, and my dad was from Hong Kong. And I was born in a small country town called Cooma. And my mom loves to tell this joke, that the best thing about having all her kids born in Cooma, she didn't have to worry about a baby mix-up in the hospital. Because there were no other Asian babies within a 100-kilometer radius. If I were to level with you though, growing up in Cooma was very tough for me. So other than my brother and my sister, we were the only Chinese kids at school. And as a result of that, I experienced a lot of bullying and teasing. Kids I didn't know would come up to me and pull their eyes back and call me Ching Chong Chinaman. I had a bully who would beat me up and pull my pants down. But the worst thing he would do, he would tell other kids not to be my friend. And as a result, I spent a lot of my recess and lunch breaks sitting by myself, feeling isolated, feeling not good enough, feeling like I didn't belong, and really seeing myself as the ugly duckling. My biggest breakthrough came when my mom sent me to Singapore for 1 year and 3 years in Hong Kong. And as you can imagine, in those countries, I didn't look different. All the other kids had black hair, brown eyes, Asian. Though I was still different because I was from Australia. But that was a cool difference because other kids would want to befriend me to improve their English. And I found that the friends who became my lifelong friends didn't like me because of where I was from. They liked me for who I was, who I am. And because of that, I was able to become confident, comfortable, very talkative, very friendly. I was able to make a lot of friends. And when I came back to Australia, I was able to stand up to the bullies, which meant I got into a lot of fights. And there were times where I felt like I lost a fight, and I could feel the bruises and the sores. But something interesting happened. All the other kids would come and congratulate me because they hated the bully too. And what's more important is I learned how to make friends and create a happy and balanced life for myself. And I have a loving wife and beautiful daughter, and we just celebrated our 9-year anniversary yesterday. I had a very successful corporate career, which I had since left. I have 5 investment properties, and I have this amazing business. I have amazing businesses. And there's one question which drives me. And that question is, what if? What if I wasn't able to break out of my old self to become who I am today? And when I think of my old self, I think of another classmate of mine in Hong Kong. And he didn't have any friends. Other kids would jump out of the way to avoid him because he had bad breath and dandruff. And because I knew what it was like to be the loner, I made an effort to befriend him. So when no one wanted him as part of the group project, I would ask him to join my group. When he went to a different class, I would look for him during recess to give him a game of chess. And when I came back to Australia, I would message him on ICQ, which is the very old version of Messenger. Unfortunately, I lost contact with him, and a few years later, I found out that he passed away from suicide. And had I known back then what I know about mindset today, I could have absolutely have helped him. And that's why it's my mission to help anyone, anywhere in the world, to heal their wounds from the past so that they can live their lives to their full potential. And that in turn enables me to live my life to my full potential. And that's why I started Coach Anywhere. I'd like you to notice inside the word Coach Anywhere, anywhere is the word here. I'm here to help and serve. So if you know anyone who needs help, please tell them about these wonderful services. There's Lifeline, Beyond Blue, Men's Line Australia, Suicide Callback Line. If they're kids, there's the Kids Helpline, Headspace, and Q Life. So before we move on, I'd like everyone to just take a deep breath in and out. And take a deep breath in and out. And take a deep breath in and out. And pat the person next to you and tell them you're amazing. So, a bit about what I do. So I'm certified in neuro-linguistic programming, timeline therapy, hypnotherapy, and RCT coaching. And I integrate all these disciplines together to help people align their internal and external resources together. NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, is the language of the mind and how we communicate to ourselves and others. And by changing the internal self-talk, we can make dramatic changes to your state of mind, which drives your behavior and creates the results you want in life. So I've got a couple of testimonials here. Maxine, the director of Spark Festival. Working with Roy has transformed my thinking around money and wealth. His timeline therapy approach was especially valuable in terms of understanding where some of my attitudes to money and my relationship with it have come from. And then we've got Ray. I have been working with Roy for the past few months now, and the work he's put to help me with releasing childhood trauma, anger, sadness has transformed my life. I have a better perspective on career, family, friends, and most importantly, myself. Roy is both nurturing and challenging as he opens you up to certain truths, which have been transformative. His work has enabled me to see a new lease on life. And I've got one of my clients here, Sai. Would you like to share your experience working with me?
Should I come there?
Oh yeah, come here. The stage is yours.
Hi, my name is Sai. I'm founder and CEO of Innovation Drive. Innovation Drive helps everyday inventors of physical product idea to market either one-on-one coaching or through our cohort-based accelerator program for 15 to 20 weeks. So we helped maybe up to 30, 40 founders so far in last 5 years. My co-founder Omar is also with me in this journey as well. So at one time, I think Omar is, I know he's got a, whenever he gets tensed, he used to start picking his hair. And then I would say him like, stop picking your hair, like in important meeting. And then like in some event, he met Roy. And like after a couple of months, like I noticed like he's not picking his hair anymore. And then like he said, like no, I'm having some coaching and these other things with Roy. So that's when Roy came to our office in Marrickville. And that's when like we got introduced, and I said like at the same time I lost my wife to suicide, and I was like binge drinking, binge eating, and I put on a lot of weight at the time. he saw that, I need to help you through this process. Like, business is going well. It's nothing wrong with the business, but myself, I was not taking my own health as a priority, and that's when Roy came to me with a bit of advice. I signed up with this 10 session program, and like throughout the program, we do every week some sort of sessions, mind coaching and other things. And I started walking, like a walk for 5-10 kilometers every day, and I lost maybe 10 kilos, I think, by the time now. Also, mindset towards money, mindset towards business, mindset towards friendship, mindset towards our clients as well. It's changed dramatically throughout this. Even my business partner Omar went through this same program as well, and both the relationship between us also improved a lot during this 10 session. So some sessions we did it together, some sessions individually, and like business is thriving at the moment. Touch wood, nothing. And so we have a great business, great personality. Even Omar went through the transformation, his own, no more picking his hairs, and he lost his weight as well. Like he wasn't overweight, but he wanted to be fit. Started playing sports as well, and so we've been doing the Spark Festival ourselves. Been involved in Spark Festival ourselves for last 4 years or so. So we've been doing a hardware day as a Spark hardware day, like to promote any physical product ideas kind of thing. Tomorrow we are having a hardware day as a part of Spark Festival. And if you have any idea, or if you want to know how to get your products manufactured, or ideas turned into a physical product, come and talk to us. Thank you.
So let me share with you a story. I love teaching through stories, through metaphors, because when we tell a story, it goes straight to the subconscious mind. And I'm going to share a story of a date with my wife-to-be. So more than 9 years ago, when we were dating before we got married, I took my wife out for a date in Bicentennial Park. And I had this spontaneous idea to rent a tandem bicycle. And I remember queuing up at the bike shop with my wife next to me, and I told wife-to-be next to me, and I told her, I'm actually not good at riding a bicycle. I can't even ride in a straight line. And I remember the lady in front of me turned around and she said, are you sure that's a good idea? Like, how long have you been dating for? And me being gung-ho, I rented the tandem bike, and I got on in front, and my wife at the back. And the first thing we did was we went down this steep hill. And I was steering, and as we were going down this steep hill, I noticed a big pole in front of us. And I was deciding, should I go left or should I go right? Should I go left or right? 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 Crash! Smashed straight through the pole. She later said it was like being driven by a drunk. And that was way before I did any work on my mindset. And back then I had this critical voice which would question every decision that I would make. Whether to go left or right, whether to do this or that, trying to be perfect all of the time. And often that critical voice would keep me stuck. And it was only until I had received coaching myself from my own mentor did I realize that this critical voice didn't belong to me. It actually belonged to my mother. And when I was able to release the negative emotions of anger, sadness, fear, help, guilt, anxiety, I was able to clear my mind of this voice. And by clearing myself from this critical voice, it helped increase my confidence. I was able to make decisions faster, take action, and be creative. And it's so powerful to clear your mind. I'm not sure if you all know of Bruce Lee, the famous martial artist. So when he was at the peak of his game, all these martial artists will come and ask to train with him. And there'll be karate champions, Muay Thai champions, kickboxing champions, and they'll all ask Bruce Lee, please train me. And Bruce Lee would turn them away. He said, I can't teach you because your cup is full. Your cup is full. So in order to learn, we must first empty our cup. Because if our mind is full of these critical voices, these negative thoughts, which is always questioning and judging things, the best learning, the best information, the best knowledge could be right in front of you, but your own mind gets in the way. The best opportunities might present in front of you, but your critical voice gets in the way. So the key is to empty your cup. And when you empty your cup, you empty your mind, that's when the real learning begins. So let's do some self-reflection. So you've all got your booklets in front of you, and let's have a think about what triggers you. And if you don't have a pen, feel free to grab one from the back. And I'd like you to take some time to reflect what triggers you emotionally, and write it down. This time is for you and for your thoughts, your own thoughts. What triggers anxiety? What triggers stress or anger, sadness, fear, hurt, guilt? Could be situations in business, in your career, health, wealth, relationships. So I'd like you to take a moment and write down what triggers you. And next I'd like you to reflect what negative thought patterns are around this. So it's like peeling the onion. When we peel off the layers, what's underneath it, which is driving this emotion? What's the negative thought pattern, the critical voice, which is driving this emotion? For me, it was the idea that I wasn't good enough, or I couldn't do something, or I didn't belong. And for every person, there's a different thought pattern which drives our emotional triggers. And next, I'd like you to reflect, how does your body physically tell you that you are triggered? I remember when I was working in corporate, and I would have spent months on a presentation, and I get the opportunity to present it to the chief marketing officer. And even though I know the material in and out, for some reason I'll get flustered. I'll get a blush, my heart will start going really fast, and I'll start stuttering. So I'd like you to reflect, what are your physical, how does your body physically react when you're emotionally triggered? And the next question is, what are your anxious actions? So fortunately, I don't drink, I don't smoke, but I do eat chocolate. So what anxious actions do you take when you're emotionally triggered to help suppress the emotion? And the next question is, what are the negative outcomes due to your anxious actions? So how much has these anxious actions have cost you? Opportunities, health, relationships. And now I'd like you to turn to the person next to you and share only what you're comfortable with the person next to you. And the key thing of this exercise is for you to realize that you're not alone. And it's okay to be human. So when you finish writing, reflecting, feel free to turn to the person next to you and share only what you're comfortable with. So just to share this picture, This photo is of my daughter. She's 6 years old. And I'm very proud of her and also my painting of her. And the beauty of clearing your mind of these critical voices, when you clear the belief that you can't do anything, you replace it with the belief that you can do whatever you put your focus on, whatever you put your mind to. So with this painting, this is the first painting I've done since primary school. And when I picked up the paintbrush, I believed that I could paint, and I just painted. Like imagine a kid in the playground, and one kid wants to climb the monkey bars, but other kids are getting in the way. In some ways, they're holding the kid back. It's like, oh, you can't climb that because it's not, it's dangerous, or the teacher said no, or whatever. What would you tell that child? What would you tell a child who's experiencing something similar in the playground? On a side note, I actually volunteer as an ethics teacher at my daughter's school. And the interesting thing about being an ethics teacher is I don't actually tell the kids what's right or wrong. I just tell them stories and then ask them questions about the stories so that they can form their own opinion, and and get them to listen to other people's perspectives. And understanding other people's perspective is so powerful when it comes to developing compassion. Because when people are indecisive, as I used to be, it could be because they have their own critical voices in their mind. And when other people trigger me, it could be a reflection of myself. The things about them which is triggering me the most, I'm perhaps displaying that behavior maybe in another area of life where I am being indecisive or I'm getting in my own way. I'm holding myself back from my own success. And one of our greatest fears isn't of failure. Our greatest fear is success. Our greatest fear isn't that we are powerless. Our greatest fear is we are powerful beyond belief. So let me talk to you about emotions. So at a very young age, we're taught to control our emotions. We're taught to suppress our emotions. The problem with controlling our emotions is we're imprisoning our emotions. We're imprisoning ourselves. When we suppress our emotions, it's like keeping a beach ball underwater. The more we push it down, the more the pressure builds until someone comes along, bumps us, and the ball erupts out of the water. And that's what happens with a panic attack. We suppress stress and anxiety too much. Or when we lose our temper, we suppress anger too much. And a healthier approach is to release it and be free of these negative emotions. And often we have these huge goals. We have these massive goals that we want to climb. Each person has their own definition of success, and everyone's doing the best they can with the resources they have available to them to achieve that success. And the thing is, when we set goals for ourselves, really high standards, when we look up the mountain, that can lead to overwhelm. And the key question is, knowing that it could take days, weeks, or months to get to the top, every night when we pitch our tent, do we pitch it facing up the mountain or down the mountain? And more often than not, we pitch the tent facing up the mountain. So when we wake up, we see, oh, this is where we need to go. This is where I need to go. But that can often lead to stress and overwhelm. So the key is to pitch our tent facing down the mountain so that when we wake up, we can enjoy the view, we can see all the obstacles we've overcome, and feel proud of the accomplishments to date. So I'd like to do a fun activity with you guys. So I want all of you not to think of a pink elephant. So try really hard and not think of a pink elephant. So whatever you do, do not think of a pink elephant. Put all your effort into not thinking of a pink elephant. Don't think of a pink elephant. Now the thing with the subconscious mind is it's really bad at processing negatives. So when you tell yourself, don't think of a pink elephant, you're going to think of a pink elephant. Don't feel stressed, you're going to feel stressed. Don't be pissed off at that guy you're going to feel pissed off. And the key is to focus on what you want as opposed to what you don't want. So what is the opposite of anger? The positive opposite of anger. What is the opposite of stress? Anxiety. One of the most powerful things I've learned through this journey, and it's when I learned this, I thought, wow, this is the best invention since sliced bread, is the root cause of our negative emotions, anger, sadness, fear, hurt, guilt, often come from our childhood, especially between the ages of 0 to 7. When we're that young, we don't have any emotional filters. So anything that's said to us, happens to us, our subconscious mind accepts as the truth. And that can form a debilitating pattern for our entire lives, or until we have a breakthrough. So imagine this is your timeline. This is your past, and this is your future. And a lot of the time, so some of my clients, they've seen many psychologists and had multiple CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy sessions. And they tell me my approach is so much effective for them. Because they say, most of the time I find I'm just talking about the problem. Whilst when I take my clients through this journey, I help them find the root cause of the problem. And the challenge with reliving the event is when you become highly associated with what happened in the past, you become highly emotional. And when you increase emotion, you decrease intelligence. When you increase emotion, you decrease intelligence. So the opposite is also true. When you decrease emotion, you increase intelligence. And how do you do that? You do that by stepping out of the event, observing the event as a third person, similar to, helping a child experiencing the same problem. And when you're outside of the event and you're highly disassociated from it, there are new positive learnings which will enable you to let go of the negative emotions and be free. Like, every child is born a genius. Every child is born a genius. The challenge is they take on so much external programming, they lose connection with their inner selves. Like, you look at a kid, they're confident, they love playing, they're curious, they're adventurous, they love breaking things, and then they lose this ability. Because they take on so much BS from their parents, people of authority, from the media, from school, and they lose connection with their inner genius. BS stands for belief systems, by the way. It also stands for something else, which is also appropriate. And the key is to release these BS at the root cause. And when I take my clients through this process, we look at it from different positions, 1, 2, 3, before we go into the event in position 4. And by changing the perspective, it's like a magician. Like, when you look at the magician from the stage, it looks like, oh wow, what did he do? Like, it's a massive illusion. But when you change the perspective, you see the truth. FEAR, false evidence appearing real. FEAR, false evidence appearing real. So anger, sadness, fear, hurt, guilt are all based in the past. Anxiety, on the other hand, is future-based, focusing on the worst case scenario happening. And it's okay to think of the worst case scenario some of the time, because it helps you prepare, plan, take out insurances, manage risk, etc. But when you focus on the worst case scenario all of the time, pink elephant. Pink elephant. Now I would like to do a meditation together. And just put everything down and just relax. And I'd like you to take a deep breath in and out. And I'd like you to breathe deeply. Let's take a deep breath in and out. Whilst I dim the lights, I'll do. And take a deep breath in and out. And I'd like you to look up at the roof. I'd like you to look up at the roof and take a deep breath in and out. And take a deep breath in and out. And take a deep breath in and out. Imagine seeing yourself floating really high up above your body, floating higher and higher. And take a deep breath in and out, floating high up above the building, up into the sky, the clear sky. And take a deep breath in and out, and float up higher past the soft fluffy clouds. And take a deep breath in and out. I'd like you to float up so high that you're out in space. And I'd like you to notice in space there's nothing. There's no sounds, there's no pressure, there's no colors, there's no voices, there's no stories. There's nothing except for the twinkling stars. And I'd like you to observe all of the twinkling stars. And an alien might be calling you, and that's okay. And you can relax. And just visualize all the twinkling stars disappearing one at a time. So in your mind's eye, see all the twinkling stars disappearing one at a time until there's only one star remaining. And I'd like you to really focus on that one star, that twinkling star. And I'd like you to ask your subconscious mind, have you ever been in a trance before? Right now, what is the relationship between the state you are in right now and the state you were in just before you woke up this morning? Did you experience that state as being similar to the waking state or different from the waking state? Can you find a spot that you would like to look at comfortably? As you continue comfortably looking at that spot for a while, do your eyelids want to blink? Will those lids begin to blink one at a time, twice, or 3 times before they close all together? Rapidly, almost slowly, will those eyes close more and more as you get more and more relaxed? That's right. Can those eyes just stay closed as your comfort able to go deeper? Just like when you go to sleep? Or would you rather really try in vain and find you cannot? And just when will you soon forget about them altogether because your unconscious wants you to dream? And drifting way down, relax now. Just allowing your entire body to rest and relax. And as you go even deeper down, all distractions just seem to disappear. And I want you to concentrate on your breathing, breathing in pure relaxation and exhaling all the tension in the body. Feel all the tension leaving the chest area as you exhale. feel yourself relaxing even deeper with each and every breath. And your breathing is so regular, so easy and effortless. And you are relaxing more and more. And your entire body is completely and totally relaxing as you drift even deeper down with each and every breath. And you feel a warm, wonderful sense of relaxation and going even deeper down. And you may have noticed that some areas of the body are more easy to relax. And concentrating on the areas of those bodies you find to be the most comfortable, very relaxed, and concentrating on these areas now, you are recognizing and realizing what there is about those areas that make you so comfortable and so very relaxed. And feeling all the sensations in all those areas, the most relaxed and comfortable parts of your body, and allowing and feeling the comforting sensations of the most relaxed areas of the body begin to spread. And this marvelous, warm, wonderful feeling of relaxation spreads to other parts of the body. And the feeling of relaxation becomes stronger. And the relaxation spreads out beyond those areas and continuing to spread to all the parts of the body you desire to relax even deeper and even deeper. Picture and imagine the relaxation spreading like the rays of sun, gently warming and relaxing like the rings of water spreading from a pebble tossed into a gentle pond, and the relaxation spreading to every muscle, cell, fiber, and bone in your body. And you are enjoying this tranquil and peaceful relaxation in every part of your body. And with every passing moment, this feeling of deep, tranquil, and comforting relaxation becomes stronger. And every cell, nerve, and part of your body knows and enjoys this wonderful sensation. And this wonderful feeling now goes out beyond the physical confines of your body, spreading out beyond the skin to form a protective shield around you. And you can let this feeling spread far, far beyond your physical body, or keep it close, like a second skin. And since this protective bubble or shield is your own creation, you can do with it what you wish. You can use this shield in any way you want to, and the uses of this shield are limitless. It can act as a filter to filter out those feelings or things going on around you, and filtering out situations that are uncomfortable, and allowing you to let in those feelings you wish to let in and experience. And it can act as an amplifier to help you understand people and to help people understand you. And this protective bubble can be invisible or visible to a few people or as many people as you want it to be. And you are using this protective shield any way you choose to use it. And that is okay, because this shield is your own creation, and you are using this shield and enjoying the comfort in every part of your body. Practicing and using this shield and allowing it to spread, allowing it to go beyond the confines of your physical body. And you can experiment with it, making it as large as you like, using it as a transport to another place or time. And the more you use it, the stronger it becomes. And realizing now that when I awaken you, you can return to this place of peace, tranquility, and deep relaxation, and use this shield anytime you desire to do so. And you are using this shield and feeling the relaxation spread to all the parts of your body. And in a moment, I am going to count backwards from 10 to 1. And I want you to awaken 1/10 of the way with each number until you are fully awake. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. When you're ready, open your eyes and welcome back. So just to wrap up the presentation for today, as I mentioned before, I'm running a half-day workshop at the Sydney Startup Hub on the 22nd of November on a Tuesday from 8 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. There is so much for me to share with you, and 1 hour doesn't quite cut it. Tickets are free, thanks to Sydney Startup Hub and Investment New South Wales. To get your free tickets, you can go to meetup.com/creatingconfidence. If you look at the last page of your brochure, you can see the registration link. And I would love to stay connected with all of you, so please join my Creating Confidence community Facebook and Meetup groups. I also have this wonderful workshop recording called the 7-Year Vision, which will help you uncover what inspires and motivates you and help you to gain clarity on what you really want in life. So you can go to www.7yearvision.com. And as always, I love chatting, I love talking, so feel free to book a friendly chat with me by emailing roy@coachanyway.com.au. Thank you very much.